From the time of our arrival in Aotearoa, Māori have created a unique architectural history. Our structures not only house people, but also our dreams, our fundamental needs, and our histories. So what can we tell about ourselves from these buildings? What do they say to us? It's a question I've asked myself constantly. I'm Ro Hoskins, and as a director of an architectural practice, understanding the stories held within the walls of our buildings has been a lifelong obsession. In this series, we're going to take you on a journey to explore not just our architectural structures, but also the social and cultural histories from which our buildings arise. We'll ask, what is Māori architecture? And celebrate some of our most stunning buildings.
We're on our way to Motiti Island off the coast of the Bay of Plenty. It's an island that Ngāpuhi actually invaded in 1832, but expecting reinforcements, they unintentionally welcomed a party from Gaiterangi who promptly slaughtered them. I'm hoping I get a better welcome.
When Captain James Cook passed by Motiti Island in 1769, he called it the most extensive complex of fortified village he had seen in his travels. Motiti is home to dozens of confirmed pa sites, acres of wild fennel, 20 or so permanent residents, and one very unusual home. When I studied architecture, I was classmates with Anthony Hoete, whose whānau hails from this island.
Kia ora, kia ora.
Kia ora, kia ora, kia ora, hop.
Anthony has a successful practice in London now, but I've come to his ancestral whenua to meet up with Anthony's dad, Aubrey, and Aubrey's twin brother, Graham, and to see the remarkable house Anthony built with his dad. The Hoete house is sited on open grassland between the sea and the Motiti airstrip. Aubrey and his whānau were born and bred on the island, and he always planned to build his retirement home here. The house features a number of unique innovations. Large centrally pivoting doors at either end of the house welcome guests arriving from either the ocean or the airstrip. The only source of electricity here is a small generator and 2 solar panels. The simple kitchen is structured around a massive cedar table suspended from the roof by a prefabricated steel angle beam, resulting in a floating structure only connected to the floor by a small waste pipe. The raised guest room extends from the large flat roof, which has a dual function as a water gathering surface and sometime helicopter pad. The Hoetes built this house as a whānau DIY project. All the materials had to be flown or barged out from the mainland. With no specialist equipment like cranes or concrete mixers on the island, the building process took a long time and attracted a lot of attention from the local population.
So it was for the rest of the people on the island, this was something pretty different, eh?
Yeah, it was something different. They think, well, what's those twins up there doing? What are they up to? Yeah, we've never seen a building like this before.
And they may never again.
You could be right, you might never again see another one like this.
So growing up on the island, you had a practical bent from a very early age?
There was no access to a toy shop on the island. You had to do something, so I started doing wooden toys and started building things. And as I got older, it just didn't go away. It was embedded in me, so I just kept on building. Basically, I had to keep quiet because I didn't want to upset my grandfather or my dad because they were workers, you know. But I always used to watch them, the way how they would cut timber and how they would use the use of nails and all that sort of. And I learned a lot just by watching them. So as time went on by, or when Dad went away, I would pinch a bit of his offcuts and try and make a little wooden boat to drag behind me down the road or something like that. But I learned a lot just by watching my dad.
The good thing about it, our whānau supported him. My 2 sisters over there, myself and my wife. We all hard workers and we just got stuck into it and wanted to see it up.
We've always worked well together as a whānau, and although hard work, we achieved it, and it's something good to see and great, big achievement, especially here.
So it's actually quite practical in terms of the way the kitchen's laid out.
Not always. You have to simplify your whole idea of food and how you present it. And that's probably what Anthony had in mind. It was more for his father to relax him, not to be a chore. So, yes, it's perfect in that way.
For Anthony, designing this house on Motiti was a gift to his father, and a way for him to remain connected to his whānau land despite living on the other side of the globe. For Aubrey and Anthony Hoete, the DIY nature of the project presented its own opportunities and challenges. Must have been a real mission to get both to the island and to set it in place too.
To deliver anywhere in Aotearoa would be a mission.
And how is it actually held up? Is there bolts up there or something?
It's held by a 200 by 100 millimetre steel beam, like a big hook, set at the right degree angle, and that's it. It's held by the main roof rafters.
And all the services are concealed in that
They're concealed in that beam. Yeah, the water flow and the power flow and all that. And I could stand on there and probably wouldn't move it just a couple of millimetres.
So this is the keel of the waka, eh?
Yeah, this is the concrete structure of the waka. It was quite a task putting this structure of this size on any island because of its work input. It was all manually poured by hand with buckets of wet concrete and pour it down into the structure. We had a cardboard tube to form the inner side profile, and we had ply sheets on the outside to give it this curved shape.
So this is one of the two doors that you asked for?
Yeah, these are one of the two doors. So we have a door now. We would just drop the pin in there to give it a locking position.
Really simple.
And allows the airflow to go right through the house without any difficulty.
And this is quite low technology construction?
Very low tech door, very low cost door. Simple, from my point of view, it was quite simple to build.
Yeah. And pivoting in the middle, it doesn't put stress on anything.
And it's a nice spot for early morning cup of tea or cup of coffee looking out towards the east on the sunrise on the horizon.
Yeah, so you can either be quite cosy or you can keep your distance.
Yeah. Keep your privacy on this side of the wall without the partner knowing what's happening.
Yeah. Beautiful. For this whare, the link to the past doesn't lie in its architectural design. The connection is to the whenua on which the whare stands and the whānau who occupy it.
Ki te kōrero, hea i pēne tū tō mātou whare i muri o mātou. Ko te take, mō ngā whenua. Mō ngā whenua, mō tātou tīpuna. Kia ora.
There's something very special in a father and son building on land that's remained in their whānau and hapu for 1,000 years. It's a structure that reinforces the Hoete connection to their tūranga waiwai, a bond that ties this unique whare to this piece of land.